Alright guys, I'm here back with more 13 Sentinels. Continuing on, since we're continuing on here with the combat sections in the game, I feel like we might as well actually go ahead and listen to the Lightbeat update from Big Brother, because I haven't done that yet. So let's do that. But yeah, just the combat sections here. So essentially we're at the point where we're almost done. Like, we only have like 2 more stories left in here. We have 11 missions left to here, and then we just have to unlock all the mystery files, which we should be able to do. We already got the trophy for all the upgrades that we need, so at this point we can kind of just waste the rest of our points. Actually, wait, what should we do here? What do we need? We need Ogata and Kisaragi. So the rest shouldn't really matter.
How could you do this to me, but I'm still loyal to you, sort of thing. And that's very much in line with the response here.
Well, no, because they're gonna be blocked off, right?
And a lot of, like, you know, I would have done anything for you guys. And honestly, I'm inclined to believe that it's more in line with the truth than it is her trying to play them.
Let's do...
because again, just based on her actions throughout the game, that's always been her motivation. But it's hard for them
again,
to
like, these upgrades don't
because,
really matter that much.
She lied so much. So it's kind of tricky.
She's swearing on her boyfriend, she's swearing on everybody, and they're like, yeah, we've heard this before, and then you told us that if we took Toya down, you would put the other one up. So, like, you know, that's the thing. When you burn through all your social capital completely unnecessarily, when you find your back against the wall, you're sort of screwed. And that's kind of what happened to her. But I did want to, like, circle back just to before the veto ceremony, if you don't mind. When Tara goes into Beth's, like, HOH room while they're getting ready, and she sits down, and she's like, okay, so not to beat a dead horse here, but I will never be that person who doesn't pitch. And she's going through the pitch that Beth has heard like 4,000 times before, and Beth is saying, like, well, Vic probably is going to call you out, like, she's gonna have some stuff to say, it's probably gonna be bad, so don't take anything that she says personally. And I think that is really important to, like, lay the groundwork sort of for the rest of the day, and like what Vic's plan is.
Oh, I didn't even realize, yeah, by the dates we should have been able to figure out that, yeah, this is after the events of the story.
Like,
the other things and stuff.
That this creates sort of fireworks in that way.
Yes, well, part of Vic's pitch is that yes, I was saying your names, but I wasn't always saying your names, and Jed is basically like, she says, like everyone outside of this room is coming for you. I'm your only ally. This makes no sense. I'm sorry that I had to say your names to other people, but I was just playing all sides. I was getting information from them to help protect you. And Ty's like, yeah, but you never told us that you were doing any of that. And in the middle of him being like, well, the thing is, because this is Ty, and he's, well, question for you. The thing is, you never told us about any of that.
MO, right? Question for you.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Like his thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I noticed that yesterday.
And Vic just interrupts him, and she's like, no, you don't. You just don't understand what I was doing for you. Jed is like, well, did you say that you wanted to throw Beth's bag over the balcony? And Vic's, absolutely not. I would never. That was Tara. Tara was the one that was upset about Beth's bag, and I was just agreeing with what Tara said. And
so this is my question for you. This is what I was like. I was very excited to talk to you about Baggate, because they have 2 completely conflicting stories. Kiefer backs up Tara. Do you remember this moment?
This is 100% Vic.
Okay, great. I just wanted to make sure.
Vic did say that she wanted to put Jed and Beth up because she was mad. Vic did go to Tara and tell Tara that Beth had been saying her name. Vic very much did plan on putting Beth up on the block. So So this is the thing. She's lying about specific things and admitting to general things, which you should be doing the complete opposite. You should be admitting to the specific things that can be verified and denying the general things that are so general that nobody could be like, well, I guess, I don't know, I don't have a specific moment. I definitely do not like that approach. She's also going to admit to being the invisible HOH and says that I used it to protect you guys. And Jed's like, yeah, we knew it was you the whole time. And she's, oh, well, I mean, I knew that.
And Beth is like, but you like, it was you, but you were going around telling everyone it was Ty. So like you wanted Ty to take the fall, and she's like, I never said Ty. I was deflecting from me. I don't know what I said. And so they're catching her in these
Okay, I guess we'll leave it.
like you said, specific lies. But she is like generally telling the truth about where everybody else stands in the game. Like when she's going through the other players and what their feelings are on the trio, she is being truthful. That's the thing. I'm like, oh gosh, like if I was the trio, my head would be all scrambled too, because she is telling them correct information about Tina. Tina, who she refers to as Blue Line, is that?
Yeah, they all they call her Blue Line.
Okay, it took me a second to figure out who she was talking about. So Tina, Tara, Ro, Brayden, she's like protecting Kiefer a little bit and lying for him, but she is really telling the truth about them. But the problem is, again, she's burned through all her social capital, so they don't really know what to believe.
And genuinely, like, I think Vic just can't let go of her lies, right? Like, she needs to just be she needs to go, look, here's the deal. When I was HOH, I wanted Toya out because I wanted to work, I wanted to be closer with you guys. During that week, we made an alliance called the Oddballs, and it's been running ever since. But I didn't really want to work with them because I wanted to work with you guys. That's why I took out Austin, but they're still working together. And yes, I did want to take out Beth because I also still wanted to get closer to you guys. But I understand now that I'm not as slick as I thought I was. And you know what? I'm willing to take my penance and stay on the block this week, and I accept that I've done you wrong and I deserve to be here. But for your games, I need to be here. And I promise you I will not go after Beth anymore. I understand I've done wrong. I only want to help you in this game moving forward. I think the pitch needs to be that simple because, you know, they're not going to trust anything that's not really open like that. You know?
Yes, because I was thinking last night when I was watching them in the little room where there's the games and they were talking. I mean, we'll get there. But I was thinking, I was like, Vic, the truth will set you free. Because you are being honest about wanting to work with them. So all you have to do is just tell the whole truth.
Yep.
Like, and I get it, because I can't imagine how scary it would be to be in there and be in this position and be like, I don't want to give away every single piece of information that I have. But at this point, it's all or nothing. Like, she is out the door. She has to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. And if she is, like, she's not deceiving them. Like, that's not her ploy to stay. She's not being deceptive when she says she wants to work with them and she would do anything for them. Like, I genuinely believe that it's true.
Everything?
So if she was just honest about everything. Yeah, I don't know. When I was watching it, I was like, why don't you say the oddballs? Like, why aren't you talking about that? Because then they will clearly be able to see the tie between Brayden and Ro, which they're totally blind to right now, which is going to be the one that really gets them, I think, in the end. And yeah, I was just like, Vic, just tell the whole truth, because the whole truth will help you. It's the reason that they believe you.
Yeah, because for Jed and Ty in particular, it does make no sense to get rid of Vic.
Absolutely not.
And so, you know, the best case is always going to be the truth. And so, you know, that's the best way forward for her, I think, is to convince Jed and Ty. If she convinces Jed and Ty, I do think can convince Beth if they push hard enough If they have all three of them, then they can push Keeper really hard. I don't know if they can get Keeper for sure, but that is...
Last night was rough.
Yeah, that is the path forward. It's the only path forward.
I think often in Big Brother, we see people who, when their back is against the wall, like, lie and do crazy things. But when you think about the people whose back was truly against the wall and actually came out of it, it's because they told the truth, right? Dan's funeral, the reason that worked is because he outed the Quack Pack to Frank. Like, Vanessa got out of her back door by being totally honest about her positioning in the game with Steve. And, like, I think that this is a really good lesson, actually, to future Big Brother players. Because you think that when you're looking like you're dead in the water, you're gonna have to do like throw a Hail Mary and do something crazy. And yet in that moment, the craziest thing that you can do is just out your game because you have absolutely nothing to lose, and then try to rebuild from there. And I do think that as I was watching it last night, and as I'm talking to you today,
pretty sure we just used it.
I'm learning something new about how to get out of something in Big Brother. Like, the best thing you can do is be honest, you know?
Sure. So so we're gonna redo this one at some point. Well, no, because it doesn't matter anymore. I just realized it doesn't fucking matter anymore, does it? Like, if we fucking reset, because like we don't need the points anymore.
After the conversation with Vic, Keeper's gonna come in, and Beth, Ty, and Jed are gonna kind of fill him in on what the pitch was. Beth feels bad.
Did I miss this one? Oh, is there like new things being added? Oh, there's like new things being added. I didn't realize that. Oh yeah, you can see there's some gaps. Okay, so we're gonna have to do some cleaning up of this after we finish the game then. I didn't realize that. So there's still stuff being added here, so that's... so we're not at the end just yet of that, but it's fine.
We're so glad you were there, because it's great to know.
Yeah, I also think this is like the first...
What should I do here then? Because we can't get the two that we need on the thing. Should we just reset?
My game wouldn't get exposed, because this is like, usually in house meetings, it's like one or two people are in danger of their game splitting up. But if Vic does have a house meeting, Vic has dirt on everyone. She has dirt on every single person, and she could call every single person out and blow up their...
You know what? No, we're gonna have to redo things anyway. Let's just keep our streak alive.
Desire to not have a house meeting is actually worse than the house meeting itself. I don't think his game would actually be called out that much. I think he'd be okay.
I also agree, because he's the one vote Vic needs, and she knows it. So why would she go after and blow the spot of the person that she needs to turn the tides for her? I just think that he can't really see that. And he's like, Vic knows a lot about me, and she knows a lot about all the crap I've been talking. But yeah, it's like,
let's just go with this.
desire not to have a house.
Yeah, we're gonna have to replay a whole bunch of missions anyway. It's like, what's one more to the thing?
The second he left, I would obviously be like, okay, well, she knows something about him.
So Ty says, look, the thing is that even if she's telling the truth, it's not about that anymore. It's about who she is as a player and the move that needs to be made this week. And Jed agrees. He says, we can't repair this. The move is made. She needs to go.
I'm not scared of them.
Yeah? Except they can repair it. They don't realize. Like, guys, she loves you. Like, you can repair it. I really believe that she would not go after them, right? Like, I mean, how do you feel about it? Would she really not go after Jed and Ty in retaliation?
I don't think she would go after Jed and Ty in retaliation. I think she'd go after Beth in retaliation.
Okay. Yeah. But that's the thing.
But she would put up, like, Jed as the pawn next to Beth to make sure that Beth goes home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just, oh man. It's really, I'm so excited to see how it sort of plays out. I know it's Tuesday and we only have 2 more days, but I'm like, she does have a decent pitch, like way better than I thought Vic was gonna have. And you're right, like if the guys can see it clearly, they know that the best move is to not have had this happen in the first place. But I don't know. I feel like sort of torn on what the correct move is for everybody this week too, and about what me as the audience wants to see.
I mean, the situation is that with Vic, I don't think that she will be loyal to the end to the guys. I never thought she'd be loyal to the end to the guys. In particular, now she's not going to be loyal to the end to the guys, but she will not come after them until it is too late. And I still believe that to be the case. I do think she would go after Beth, but especially in a double eviction situation, if they vote to keep her, if Beth breaks a tie to save Vic, I do not think that Vic will put Beth up on the block in the double eviction. I think she'll put up, Tina, Tara, and backdoor row or something along those lines, right? Or Brayden, Tara, backdoor row. I do think that she would actually do that in a double eviction situation. After the double eviction, if she wins, she might still go after Roe unless Roe is not there anymore. But at that point, she'd start to consider maybe going after Beth. And then once Beth is gone, she'd want to maybe turn on the guys. But that's way better than Tara, who in the double eviction would put up Jet and Ty.
I know.
So, no matter how you feel about Vic, or whether she would eventually turn or what, I do think that she is considerably better for the guys' games.
These are those things that we need to hit with actual powerful attacks. Well, she's pointless then.
Yes. As like a fan, from like the true fan perspective, obviously I would like Victoria to stay. She is amazing television. We can't lose her first to the jury. That would stink. Tara is not giving me anything. She could go, you know what I mean? Like I would much rather Vic stay. But also I love the tension this has caused within the triangle this week. I also, last week when I was on the update, I said that I called Beth a showmantress, and I feel like she might have heard me, or maybe Jed heard me and said what he probably shouldn't have, which is, where would your game be without us here? Which unfortunately for Beth at that point was true, but unfortunately for Jed, she did take to heart and she started to really play. And I am very into what player A has been doing this week. I love that she is being self-interested and that she's making the move that it works for her. This is something that the other showmantresses would never have done. So I'm proud of her. I want her to keep going. I want her to bring out her true Allison Irwin and just really go for it. But yeah, I really love the tension this week between them because it's been so fun to see how it's going to play out and watch them all try and push and pull on one another and figure out how to end up in the best spot.
We are going to move on to a Vic and Kiefer conversation. She does mention that she's like, I could have taken a shot at them last week and I didn't. She tells Kiefer, you're not in as good with them as you think you are. He's like, no, I know. And he pretends to be on her side, of course not letting her know that he just put some more nails in her coffin just a little bit earlier.
Yeah, and she's saying like she's so mad that Brayden and Tina and Tara are throwing her under the bus, and she's so mad that she told Tina to go to the HOH room and try and campaign for herself, and she was trying to be helpful to Tina, and then she just threw her under the bus like that. And she says like their stories lined up and they screwed her, and I was like, that's Big Brother. That's how you get outplayed, Vic. Like, that's why it worked, because they just outplayed you. They made sure their stories lined up completely. They got everything in order, and then Tina made a plan of attack, and now Vic is the victim of that,
They have actual allies. They don't get allies by taking out their other allies and then being like, I get this spot now, right? Like that doesn't bond you to people.
I wrote in my notes, and that's how you get outplayed, baby. Just like, yeah, if you have allies that you have a close bond with, that you have worked now for 30-something days with, you can coordinate a story. You can all get together in a room, coordinate stories, and lay out a plan of what you need to do to get something done.
Go.
But, yeah.
Well, Tara is going to talk with Ro. She's worried about getting into this fight with Vic. They've both been informed that Vic is trying to pin some stuff on Tara. And she's like, this is not what I want to be doing on TV. She said this a few times. She doesn't want to get into a fight with another boy in front of her children. And Ro is just like, I want to see it. That's what the show is about. Come on. Just watch.
Ro has been growing on me more and more. I really think that he's such a he's just so fun in Big Brother because he is so emotionless. Last time I was on, we talked about this too, like how Ro can't see how anyone else can be playing emotionally because he completely detaches himself from it. And because he sort of is, and I'm not trying to say that like Ro is lacking in empathy, but he doesn't lead with empathy, so he can't empathize with someone who would be playing emotionally. So he's like, you know, Tara's like trying to help him with this like emotional, like, oh, I don't want to look bad on television, and I don't want to, and he's like, well, that would be fun for me. Just like, absolutely no empathy, nothing there, and it's funny, and I like it. And Ro, I hope you stick around and keep on keeping on.
Yeah. Ty, Beth, and Jed are going to discuss.
God, this is taking a while, isn't it?
Vic is going to continue to campaign a few times throughout the day. She's crying to them. They're finding that a little awkward. But they are still on board with getting her out. The plan would be get Vic out this week and get Ro out next week. They really want Ro to go. He can't keep slipping by. And Ty also thinks that they should be looking maybe at Keeper as their third target, considering how sketchy he's been acting lately.
Okay, so say Ro is taken out in a double. Kiefer wins the next HOH. Who does Kiefer go after? The trio?
If Ro is gone, I think that Jed might be Kiefer's target. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he'd put up. So I mean, currently the plan for Kiefer is potentially put up Jed and Brayden and try to backdoor Ro. If Ro is already gone, he will probably just put up Jed and Brayden. And at that point, Jed would go. I believe Tina and Tara.
Ro, all voting for Jed to
Well,
go.
if Ro is gone, it would probably be a tie. Kiefer would break the tie. I mean, honestly, Kiefer could vote out Brayden at that point. But he also could vote out. I don't know. I don't think he would vote out Jed himself in the tiebreaker because then he wouldn't be able to work with Ty anymore. So I actually don't know. I don't know. Brayden could go on a Kiefer HOH if Ro's already gone. I think his backup would be for Brayden to go, but if Ro is still in the house, the backup would be that Jed leaves because
Yeah, this is definitely the toughest one we've done so far.
Jed. So Kiefer leaving is not like the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely not good for Ty. I don't know why Ty is the one talking about it this much because Kiefer would like to work with Ty. Kiefer might take out Jed, but Kiefer would keep Ty safe. And there are other people in the house like Tina and Tara that would just straight up go after Ty and Jed. And so taking out Kiefer is not a great plan.
Yeah, I think they just like can't. It's so funny because the boys are such social players. Like that's how they operate. That's where most of their strategy comes in. It's just from the social aspect of it. So they respond to social play. Like they are not as receptive to like clear strategy or you know what I mean? Like they respond to what they're seeing socially from other people, and what they're seeing is that Tara and Tina are, you know, coming around, hanging out with them, saying they wouldn't take them, and that Kiefer is being weird about everything and being awkward and like pushing back on a lot of stuff and being sort of grumpy. So they are reading that rather than like listening to the words that Kiefer is saying and like following the logic that Kiefer has. They're looking at the way that he's acting socially, and that's why they're wanting to target him.
I mean, they're just being completely fooled by mostly Tina and Brayden at this point, that neither of them will come after them. And because they think that these players are not coming after them, that they have the space to focus on the wishy-washy middle people who may come after them, but are really just the most on their side people in the house, not realizing that they should be focusing on the fact that there is a duo still in the house, Tara and Tina, both of them coming after them, both of them votes against them if they're not on the block, that are much more dangerous, and already numbers that Kiefer would have if he did decide to go after them, which is not really in his plans anyway. So the
really
stuff is going to continue to escalate over the course of the day here.
I know.
But in the meantime, Tara's going to put her foot in her mouth because she goes to Ty, and there's a little bit of a campaign session. And Ty's like, look, by keeping Vic, I'm keeping somebody that will not put me on the block. Am I going to get the same from you? And Tara's like, well, look, I want to work with you. I would like to do that. It's like, sounds like you're not telling me that you won't put me on the block, is what I'm hearing. And she's like, well, I mean, look, Ty, I've always wanted to work with you. I would like to make something happen. But I'm still not hearing that I won't go on the block. She's like, okay, I won't put you on the block. Okay,
like, oh,
very
great.
believable.
Yeah, thank you for that. Oh, that's just exactly what I needed to hear after 10 minutes of prodding it out of you and you sounding exasperated when you give me that answer.
Yeah, and so he's like, who would you put on the block? And she's like, well, I wouldn't want to put up Jed. But
it's like, Tara, just lie. Just lie. Just bold-faced lie. Like, I don't... And like, you can lie. They trust, like, the people that you're going to say that you're putting on the block are the same people that they're saying to the trio that they're going to
Fuck, we only did 2 battles on this episode.
Everybody's
Goddamn.
lying because they don't want the trio to know that they're targeting them because they're in power this week. It's like, Tara, this is Big Brother 101. Like, just lie about your target. Why would you tell someone that you're targeting them when they have the power to send you home?
That took a while.
Something else.
yeah. We're gonna get a call back from earlier in the day when Vic was talking about bananas and being tipped off. Production was on top of it with a "do not talk about production," and they were so annoyed about this that they decided to put the entire house on slop, and they sent a message, the Godfather, like a horse head in the bed. They sent a message with bananas in the pantry. Just a bunch of bananas next to a chained up refrigerator. And they said, do not rat us out, or we will punish you.
They said, we're scared of the internet. Don't say anything that will make people get on podcasts and boo us.
We don't want to be called lame.
Shit, we might not
The
get
worst
this.
thing somebody could call Big Brother Production clearly is lame.
Yeah.
So, you know. I mean, it's funny, whatever. Like, it's funny. It was cute, you know, silly, whatever.
I mean, it's funny in the sense that, like,
Ah,
I feel
damn it,
like
we're going to replay it.
production is Victoria. That's why they love Victoria so much.
Oh, we're
Because
gonna have to
they are
replay it
also
anyway, though. I
Victoria.
guess so. I
And
guess
they
it didn't
think
really matter.
That, like, they think that by punishing the house guests and
Ooh,
sending a
10
message with
message
bananas is somehow going to help clear their name of having tipped Vic off.
Osaka.
Like, no, you just incriminated yourself. You just
Ah, shit, we can't
admitted
praise
that
her.
you did this.
God damn it.
I guess I didn't think about it that way. That's really funny. They're like admitting by punishment. Like,
Yeah.
the punishment is a form of admission. That is actually really, really funny, and I didn't think of it that way.
All right. Apparently.
Wait, Taryn, we haven't haven't talked about my favorite word of the day.
Yes.
Which was when,
Where's it?
after the veto ceremony, when Beth went to the backyard and was alone in her little dress and was like dancing to herself that she put a pin on the block. And like, Beth is so, like, I'm sort of hot and cold.
Why haven't I gotten a trophy though?
Like, she does things that are like pretty like badass, like do this Victoria move, and then to celebrate, she like dances the way that she does, and just like ruins any cool factor she ever had.
And maybe there's more through the story.
But also like,
We'll see.
she's fun. You know, I don't know. I think that the dance moves were.
So I don't know what to do here. Like, I know that doesn't really matter. Should I just?
Apparently, the house meeting is happening right now.
Right now?
Means just
Fuck
came
it.
back up
Let's just do
in
it.
the middle of the house meeting, I think.
Oh no.
So that should be interesting to talk about here. But there's still stuff to go over from yesterday.
You know, actually, let's just, if we're in this position,
She says, look,
why don't I just redo this stuff now?
if it's not with you.
It's like, I feel like we might as well just do it now, right?
I don't want to play with those other people. They're lame. I want to play with you.
So I think we'll do that next episode, actually.
You're the hot people.
You're the coolest kid.
Reset everything anyway.
Yeah.
Like, why would I want to hang out with them? You're the cool one.
Exactly.
And Beth, and she literally says that word for word, to the point that Beth goes, stop. And like the flatter is working on her. Like, what world are we in that we're sitting in Big Brother and someone's like, you're the cool people, and they're like, oh Vic, stop that. Like, we know. It's like, what?
Yeah.
We're all adults here. Like, what are we saying? I don't know.
She's this. To be fair, this is her truth, right?
Yeah.
Did you know that Febreze Aerosex uses 100% natural propellant? Cheaper aerosols use artificial propellants.
Yeah, next episode we'll continue on. I think what we'll just do is just go back to this and redo this.
You'll enjoy.
Yeah, sure. And
I feel like at this point I might as well.
To show, like, Beth being like, stop Vic, like, means that it's Beth's truth
So,
too.
next episode continue on.
It's just like,
For now,
that's why I was
thank
like,
you
wait,
for
what?
watching.